Sulayman bin Abd al-Malik was an Umayyad caliph who ruled from 715 until 717. His father was Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan, and he was a younger brother of the previous caliph, al-Walid I. Early years. Under the rule of his brother al-Walid, he had been the governor of Palestine. In the tribal politics of the Near East at the time, he allied himself to the Umayyads. When Yazid ibn al-Malik escaped from al-Hajjaj, he made his way to Sulayman in Palestine. Sulayman granted him refuge. Al-Hajjaj pressed al-Walid about this, and the caliph commanded Sulayman to send him Yazid in chains. Sulayman had his own son chained to Yazid approach al-Walid and present Sulayman's forcefully written letter insisting on sanctuary for Yazid. Al-Walid accepted this and so informed al-Hajjaj. Assumption of power as caliph and his appointments. Sulayman was hailed as caliph on February 23, 715, the day al-Walid died. He appointed Yazid ibn al-Malik governor of Mesopotamia and Saleh ibn Abd al-Rahman financial administrator there. Saleh was also instructed to arrest and execute the family of al-Hajjaj, one of two prominent leaders who had supported the succession of al-Walid's son Yazid, rather than Sulayman. Al-Hajjaj had predeceased al-Walid, so he was no longer alive to pose a threat. Qutayba was considerably alarmed at the ascension of Sulayman to the throne. He first sent an envoy to the caliph with letters asserting his loyalty as he was loyal to previous caliphs, urging Sulayman not to replace Qutayba as governor of Khorasan with Yazid ibn al-Malik, and finally, if the envoy saw Sulayman favoring Yazid, with Qutayba's renunciation of allegiance to Sulayman. Sulayman sent the envoy back with a confirmation of Qutayba's governorship. However, Qutayba had already attempted to rebel. Qutayba's troops rejected his appeal to revolt, killed him and sent his head to Sulayman. Sulayman appointed Yazid ibn al-Malik governor of Khorasan. Yazid was happy to escape the financial strictness of Saleh ibn Abd al-Rahman in Mesopotamia. Policies as caliph. As he remained close to the Umayyads, Sulayman did not move to Damascus on becoming caliph, but rather he remained in Ramla in Palestine. His Khorasani governor Yazid continued expansion into mountainous parts of Iran such as Tabaristan. Sulayman also sent a large army under Maslama ibn Abd al-Malik to attack the Byzantine capital, Constantinople. This was a determined attack that lasted through the winter. The caliph's armies also advanced beyond Byzantine territory and took a Slavic stronghold. The siege of Constantinople occasioned hunger inside the city and among the besiegers. After the intervention of Bulgaria on Byzantine side, it ultimately proved to be unsuccessful. Sulayman was on his way to attack the Byzantine border when he died in 717. Sulayman led a conquest of Dalak archipelago from Kingdom of Aksum, which became caliphate territory from that point on, although later recovered in the 9th century and vassal to the Emperor of Ethiopia. In the domestic scene, he had wells built in Mecca for pilgrims, and organized enforcement of prayers. Sulayman was known for his exceptional oratory skills and was fondly remembered. Naming of his successor. In age 98, Sulayman named his son Ayyub heir to the throne. However, Ayyub died that same year. Sulayman considered naming a son to replace him. However, he received advice that it was uncertain the son fighting at Constantinople was still alive and others were too young. So, he passed these over, broke with tradition by not maintaining a hereditary dynasty and appointed Umar ibn Abd al-Aziz as his successor. Umar had a reputation as being one of the most wise, capable and pious persons of that era. This appointment is rare, although it technically fulfills the Sunni Islamic method of appointing a successor, whereas hereditary succession does not. Death. Sulayman donned an impressive green robe and turban and, seeing himself in the mirror, commented on how he looked to be in the prime of life. A week later he was dead. He died on either September 22 or October 1, 717. Al-Tabari records the following anecdote. According to Ali Suhaim B.Hafs, a slave girl belonging to Sulayman looked at him one day, and he asked, "How do you like what you see?" Quote, she recited, "You are the best object of delight, if only you would last. But man does not possess immortality. I do not know of any blemish in you that other people have, except that you will pass away." He was entombed at Dabiq following his death.